ready to ditch the rulebook and dive into a world of worm poop, million-dollar deals, and happiness delivered straight to your doorstep.
Sign me up. Let's just say, Tony Hsieh, the mastermind behind Zappos, isn't your average CEO.
That's putting it mildly. I mean, who else starts a worm farm at 9 years old trying to pump those worms full of raw egg yolks for maximum profit?
The guy was a natural burn entrepreneur even back then. He was always experimenting, always hustling. Sure, the worms didn't make him a millionaire, but it taught him that even the wildest ideas are worth exploring.
He definitely didn't shy away from unconventional. Remember that little side hustle with the phone line, charging classmates for a taste of the forbidden?
Oh yeah. 976 SEXY, the code that launched 1,000 lunchtime fantasies. Talk about understanding your market. And poor Mrs. Gore, the computer teacher, trying to decipher that phone bill.
She probably thought she was losing her mind. Little did she know she had a future tech icon on her hands. But it wasn't all pranks and profits. Hsieh was a high school renaissance man fencing, jazz piano, even becoming a certified ham radio operator. Who does that?
He was a collector of experiences, constantly pushing boundaries, seeking new perspectives. It's like he intuitively understood that the most unexpected connections often spark the greatest innovations.
And then there was that whole lunch card theft debacle, landing him in front of the school's judicial council.
Talk about a crash course in crisis management.
Mm.
It taught him that even when you're in the right, presentation matters.
Fast forward to Harvard, where he's running a dorm grill with his buddy Sanjay, whipping up late-night pizzas and those infamous professor's secret study guides.
He turned that dorm room into a business incubator, experimenting with pricing strategies, marketing tactics, even using MTV to create the ultimate pizza-fueled study vibe. Talk about hands-on learning.
And then, just when you think he's settling into the corporate life boom, he walks away from a cushy job offer at Oracle.
Because who needs a predictable paycheck when you can chase a dream, right?
That's our cue for the million-dollar question, or in Hsieh's case, the $265 million question. Buckle up as we unravel the link exchange saga, where boredom meets opportunity, and a simple website becomes a .com goldmine.
Well, let's just say they weren't afraid to leave some zeros on the table if it meant pursuing their vision.
And that vision led them straight to shoes. I mean, I get the whole e-commerce boom, but shoes, back then it seemed kind of crazy.
Oh, totally. Remember, this is the late 90s we're talking about, right? Amazon was still finding its feet. People like to actually try on shoes, Feel the leather. Make sure they fit just right.
Enter Nick Swinmurn stage, left with a dream and a dial-up connection. The image of him running back and forth to the local shoe store to fulfill those early online orders is peak entrepreneur hustle.
He was a one-man show, proving that the demand was there even if the logistics were still a bit fuzzy.
And Tony and Alfred, they saw something special in that, something worth betting on.
Oh, absolutely. They knew e-commerce was going to be huge, and shoes, well, that was just the beginning.
Yeah.
They were investing in Nick's infectious energy, his belief that they could build a brand that wasn't just about selling a product, but about creating an experience.
And that experience didn't come easy. Remember those near bankruptcy stories? The logistical nightmares? Wasn't there something about a truckload of shoes taking an unexpected detour?
Oh, yeah, that was a rough one. Picture this. A highway, a flipped-over truck shoes everywhere. It was like a scene out of a movie, only it was their reality and they were already hanging on by a thread.
Talk about adding insult to injury. So how'd they manage to turn things around?
They dug deep, secured a lifeline loan, and made the strategic move to Kentucky. It was about taking control of their destiny, owning the entire customer experience from warehouse to doorstep.
And that's where the delivering happiness philosophy takes center stage. Free shipping both ways, upgrading customers, just because they weren't just selling shoes anymore, they were creating an emotional connection.
They were pioneers in the art of WRW, understanding that customer loyalty wasn't just about the product. It was about the feeling you got every time you interacted with the brand.
And that feeling wasn't just for the customers, right? Zappos took it a step further. Everyone went through the same customer service training, even the lawyers and accountants. And let's not forget that infamous offer, $2,000 to walk away after the first week.
Talk about a litmus test. It was their way of saying, look, we're building something different here, something special. If you're not all in, no hard feelings, here's $2,000 to find your bliss elsewhere.
It was about finding their tribe people who lived and breathed those 10 core values. And those values weren't just empty words on a wall, they were the heartbeat of the company.
They were the fuel that drove those legendary customer service stories. Like Martha. Remember her? the Zappos employee who paid for a complete stranger's groceries at Walgreens.
Talk about random acts of WOW. That wasn't in her job description. It was pure, genuine kindness.
And it went viral, becoming this symbol of the Zappos ethos. Going above and beyond, not because you have to, but because it's the right thing to do.
So here they are, thriving company, legendary culture, customer service. That's the stuff of legend. But there's still a piece of the puzzle that's not quite clicking right.
The board of directors, Tony, had this grand vision for Zappos, but he felt stifled, held back by investor expectations.
He needed to break free to chart his own course.
Exactly. He needed autonomy, complete control. He needed to buy them out.
Easier said than done, I'm guessing. So how do you even begin to approach that? Were there secret meetings, backroom deals, Swiss bank accounts?
Knowing Tony, it probably involved a whiteboard, a case of Red Bull, and a healthy dose of out-of-the-box thinking. He explored every avenue, private equity firms, wealthy individuals. He was determined to find a way.
And then in a plot twist worthy of a Hollywood blockbuster, Amazon enters the scene. Okay, hold on. Amazon buying Zappos. That sounds less like a fairy tale and more like, well, a corporate takeover.
Right. Everyone was holding their breath thinking, this is where it all goes wrong. Zappos becomes just another name on the Amazon empire.
So how'd Tony handle that? Does he channel his inner negotiator, lay down the law?
He did what he always did. Prioritize people. He knew there'd be fear and uncertainty, so he addressed it head on, held town hall meetings, sent out detailed emails explaining what it all means.
Transparency, honesty. It's like the opposite of how most mergers go down.
Right. And then, get this, 2 days after the acquisition is announced, Tony calls an all-hands meeting. And what does he do? Surprise bonus.
Seriously, talk about a way to win over a workforce.
People were cheering, laughing, some were even crying. It was a powerful moment, a testament to the culture they'd built, the trust they'd established.
It's proof that sometimes the unconventional path, the one that throws out the rule book, that's the path that leads to something truly extraordinary.
And that's the heart of Tony's message, isn't it? It's not just about building a successful business. It's about building a life filled with purpose, passion, and yes, even a little bit of, dare I say it, happiness.
And he challenges us to find that happiness, not by chasing some elusive external reward, but by tapping into what truly lights us up, what gets us out of bed in the morning, what makes us want to make a difference.
It's about asking ourselves those big, scary questions. What am I passionate about? What legacy do I want to leave behind? What seemingly impossible dream might just be the key to unlocking a level of fulfillment I never thought possible?
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of delivering happiness, we leave you with this. What's that one crazy idea that's been tugging at your soul? That dream you've been too afraid to chase? Maybe it's time to take a leap of faith to embrace the unconventional and see where the path leads. You never know, it just might lead you to your own version of happiness.